Hey, what's going on, guys? So welcome to game number 3. So our player in the red did go first. He decided to set one and pass it on to our player in the blue. Our player in the blue activated Dark World Dealings. He discarded Snow and searched out Graffa, and then summoned his Fabled Raven and activated the effect and discarded Graffa. And our player in the red discarded a Light Pulsar Dragon when our player in the blue used Dark World Dealings. And his face down card was an Eclipse Wyvern, which got destroyed. He then banished a Dark Armed Dragon. And our player in the blue activates his drag down after setting everything. So let's see what he ends up hitting. So let's see. So apparently our player in the red had a great hand, but apparently it just won't be great anymore. Let's see what he ends up hitting. Maybe Tour Guide. Oh, BLS. Ooh, it's a big card to hit. But our player in the blue will get the other Snow's effect. So he'll probably add. Ooh, he's gonna go for Gate. Interesting. So perhaps he drew into a Dark World monster. As long as our player can get rid of that one Dark World monster. That's the thing. What you need to do. You need to get rid of the summon of that Dark World monster, and it really does help out. And our player in the blue is gonna go for the Gates effect, and oh, it was going to be Browse. He's going to be able to draw 2. Very good. And we see a monster reborn, so I guess he's going to reborn his Graffa. No? Reborn. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Reborn Snow. That'd be the correct play. I was going to say you should reborn Graffa. But yeah, reborning Snow would be the better play, because then you get to return it to your hand to special summon the Graffa and go even more plus. But the thing is, yeah, because if you only have one Graffa in the grave and your opponent reborns, it does hurt Dark Worlds quite a bit. So let's see if our player in the red can really do anything about this, because this is game number 3. So he's going to summon a Tour Guide. Let's see if this gets to go off. Okay, he says okay, so let's see what he ends up going for. A Zenmanes would not be a bad idea at this point. Oh no, he's going to go for Sangan. Oh, he's going to go for an overlay. Maybe he will make his Zenmanes this time. Oh, no, he's going to go for number 17. Just so he can perhaps get that extra dark in the grave. And then he can banish Graffa. Maybe that's his plan? Because he could probably still have Chaos Sorcerer, so he's checking out his graveyard. So our player in the blue is like, oh, it's going to be Chaos Sorcerer. Because I really think if our player in the blue had Solemn Warning, he probably would have activated it on Tour Guide. And he will be removing that Graffa, so Graffa will not come back next turn. And I personally would have special summoned Chaos Sorcerer in defense mode, and the reason why is because, well, he doesn't get the boost from that, but the main reason is because Mirror Force would actually hurt, because I'm pretty sure he's going to attack with number 17. Even though Dark World usually doesn't run Mirror Force, you know, I mean, he's playing Valor in his, so he's running, you know, a little bit differently, I would say. Nope, no Mirror Force, so player in the red won't get punished for that, so he will take some damage though. Taking 900. Oh, because it's Fiend, that's why. I was like, wait, why is it only 900? So he's going to set 2, and let's see what our player in the blue is going to be able to do. But I still think our player in the red made, you know, that was a pretty decent play. Although I would have said making the best play personally, I would say Chaos Sorcerer in defense mode would have been just a little bit better, because I mean pretty much anything can attack over it anyways. I mean Snow would be 21, because remember Snow would get the boost from this, and actually Snow would only be at 21, so it wouldn't kill it in attack mode. But I still feel like I would have special summoned in defense. That's my personal take on it. So we see a Graffa being discarded, and Graffa will most likely get rid of number. Oh, he's gonna go for a back row. Okay, interesting. Let's see what he hits for a back row from Graffa's effect being discarded. Oh, he says sad face. Maybe it was the Solemn one. Oh, it was Book. And Book of Moon actually does hurt Dark World, surprisingly, because Graffa has to target a face-up Dark World, and as soon as the Dark World summon, you can just go Book of Moon, and then they can't return it. And the player in the red is going to go for a Reckless Greed, so maybe he just doesn't have that card to summon to bounce back, so let's see what our player in the blue goes for. I mean, our player in the red just needs one response, basically, because I would say Dark World is a deck where most of the time you only have one summon per turn, because you just summon, bounce back, or Graffa. It's always go for Graffa. So he's going to go for... let's see what he does, because... at the moment, he really needs to get over Chaos Sorcerer. If there's anything that can prevent the destruction of Chaos Sorcerer, he'll be good to go, I'd say. And so he's going to summon a Snow, and we see a Torrential Tribute come out. I mean, sure, our player doesn't get to draw for 2 turns. But, I mean, he doesn't get a Graffa out, and it gets rid of the Dark World that he has in his hand. And he's setting everything. Maybe he'll activate another drag. No drag down. I don't know. I mean... because I mean, I'm trying to think of what would be the best play. Because, I mean, he could have... if Chaos Sorcerer was killed, he'd most likely kill Chaos Sorcerer. Because then Leviathan can point for point. I'm gonna go for Light Pulsar, okay. And... Torrential Tribute comes out, because I don't think our player in the red has any targets in his graveyard to get out. Oh, and we see a monster reborn. I would reborn Graffa. That's definitely what I would go for. Yeah, okay. So our player in the red is making the correct play, I would say. Getting the Graffa definitely helps. So he'll take 3,000 because the field spell does boost every fiend on the field. Phase 2 is going to set 1. Because he did not technically... oh, and another Reckless Read comes out from a player in the blue. So, let's see what our player in the blue can do. So, that was 1 turn out of the 2 turns that he cannot draw for Reckless. So, he's player in the blue's checking out his graveyard. He'll most likely want to use the field spell. Oh, he's going to go for a Dark World Dueling, so our player in the red will just basically mill 1. Ooh, it was a Dark Flood Dragon. At least it was a card that, you know, definitely does help. And our player in the blue is going to be discarding Snow, and he's going to be adding Graffa. No surprise there. As long as he's going to be able to get Graffa in the grave and summon a monster, he'll be good to go. Because in Dark Worlds, you can point for point, you know, 3,000s and just be like, oh, it's fine. I can just get my Graffa out next turn once again. But we see a Heavy Storm activated, and then a Starlight Road in response. So I guess you can get a Stardust and attack the face down. I wouldn't really say using it on yourself isn't really that broken. It's still you're still essentially using 2 cards to get a Stardust Dragon. I mean, Stardust is okay, but the thing is, Stardust cannot use its effect to come back. It can use its effect to negate the destruction, but not come back. So he's going to be able to discard Graffa, and he will kill his own Graffa, which I would say is okay play. And card destruction, it's not like hand destruction where the player can only activate if the opponent has cards in their hand. Like hand destruction, it's discard then draw. This one is you discard then draw, but it's not a cost. I'm sorry, yeah, it's not a cost, because if it was a cost, Dark Worlds wouldn't get their effect. And our player in the blue is going for an Exceed. So he's going for a Heretic Sun Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis. So he's going to detach 1 and tribute any number and destroy. Oh, so that's pretty interesting. Interesting that Dark Worlds can play this. So I guess if you are playing Dark Worlds, you do have room in the extra deck. So I would say definitely that, you know, why not run this card if you're playing Dark Worlds. So this is probably the card in game 2 that our player in the blue was going to go for, and our player in the red just said GG at that point. I really felt like game 2? Yeah, I believe it was game 2. Our player in the red did make a mistake when he went all in, and he didn't really capitalize off that as much as he could have. He realized he did misplay, which is good. I mean, it's always better to realize that you misplayed rather than losing and thought that you made the best play, because when you realize that you've made a misplay, it lets you know that, you know, I could have won. I just need, you know, I just needed to practice. I didn't know about that play, or I just didn't see it at that time. So that was a pretty interesting duel. I mean, both decks very high tier, I would say, but interesting to see our player in the red playing like Junk Synchron, which maybe he sides out of that engine, because he had Dopple, he had the Junk Synchron, so it was like maybe a Synchron Chaos, and he sides into the Dragon Chaos. So it does seem like a, you know, a very good like like way to side into something, because when you're playing like the whole junk engine, I would say people would side Veilers, and when you go into dragons, you know, Veiler doesn't really hurt dragons as much, so it could be an option. But thanks for watching, guys. Asian White Dragon signing out.